For a generation of Star Wars fans, the original trilogy was the foundation for which their fandom was born and raised. Now, as someone who was born after the releases of episodes 4, 5, and 6, I had the opportunity to fall in love with a galaxy far, far away through a different path. Star Wars turns 40 this year, but I think it's just as good a time as any to celebrate what I think is one of the most important video game experiences of all time. This is how Knights of the Old Republic made me a Star Wars fan. I remember my 13th birthday vividly, sitting in the kitchen of my mom's apartment, reading Greg Kasavin's review of Knights of the Old Republic on GameSpot on my stepdad's old busted laptop hooked up to some CRT monitor we salvaged. My brother kept hyping up this game, and I was thinking if I should ask for it as a gift since it literally released that day. We didn't have much at the time, so we had to really think hard about the games we bought, and damn, am I glad he got it for me. I always heard about Star Wars, knew about lightsabers and the Jedi, but not much else. I never immersed myself in that universe until Knights of the Old Republic. Not only was it an incredible role-playing game from BioWare, rooted in D&D, but it put me in control of the Jedi Civil War 4,000 years ago. I became part of the galaxy, living vicariously as this Jedi who impacted the fates of so many people and the worlds around them. I got to know those who inhabited Terrace, the wealthy, the gangs, the impoverished. While I could have easily murdered anyone in my path, I chose to defend the defenseless, which is why I was shook when the Sith destroyed the entire city and any semblance of life, rendering all my efforts meaningless. I had flashbacks of Terrace when I first saw Alderaan destroyed before Leia's eyes. Moments like these are what turned good people to the dark side, but I didn't grow apathetic or let revenge consume me. At the Jedi Enclave on Dantooine, I foresaw a narrative I could shape. I learned the Jedi Code from Master Vandar, my very own Yoda.
There is no death. There is the Force.
I built my own lightsaber and learned from and grew close to Bastila. I began to understand the Force, its power, and its fragility. I put that to the test when I had to decide the fate of Juhani, the Cathar Jedi, on the brink of falling to the dark side.
I thank you, Master Jedi. I will return to the Council then. I shall submit myself to their judgment and hope they will forgive me.
Player agency permeated my trek across the galaxy. It's great that you could fully embrace the dark side, but I chose the light. The main objectives were always the same: find the star maps to find and destroy the Starforge. But how I accomplished this, and the decisions I made along the way, are what captivated me. When I landed on Kashyyyk, I knew I was going to drive out the Zerka Corporation for slaving Wookiees. But who was I going to help run things afterward? Zalbar got my back, so I got his. If you got to know him and his family, you could understand Wookiee politics. So the first time I saw Chewbacca in the movies, it's as if I knew his ancestors and understood the struggles that took place on Kashyyyk well before his time. Stepping onto the rough sands of Tatooine as my own Jedi, thousands of years before Luke Skywalker, I almost felt the heat of the planet's two suns beating down on me. When I'd land on Manan, I just stopped to look around, soak in the vastness of the ocean and the tranquility of Otto City. I learned about the shiny Selkath folk, but also had to decide the future of their environment. But it wasn't until Korriban, a barren, desolate planet, that I truly understood the dark side. Undercover as a student at their academy, I saw their ways, savage, ruthless, but their will, fickle. As I walked through the Valley of the Dark Lords, there stood monuments of the past Sith rulers. All this time I had a ragtag crew of misfits, unique in their own way. The comically violent droid HK-47, a prideful and aggressive Mandalorian in Canderous, the scrappy Twi'lek Mission Veo, the naggingly virtuous Karth, and T3M4, a spiritual predecessor to R2-D2, just to name a few. These are just a few of the memories I have leaving my mark in galactic history, but nothing is more burnt into my memory than the moments on the Leviathan. My relatively calm quest for the star maps and the Starforge reached a turning point, and facing Darth Malak for the first time, many truths were unveiled. Why did I have all these visions of exactly where I needed to go, where all the star maps were? Why did I share the seemingly curious yet strong bond with Bastila? And why did I become such a powerful Jedi in such a short period of time? There's one answer. I was Darth Revan. And in that moment, my understanding of who my character was, or why the story even existed in the first place, was in this sort of limbo. Now, the game walked me back through the trail of breadcrumbs they left that hinted at my character's true identity, but I still had so many unanswered questions. It's regarded as one of the greatest plot twists in gaming history, but it was hardly the end of the story. Bastila sacrificed herself to hold off Malik, but it would come back to haunt us as we crash-landed on the unknown planet inhabited by the ancient Rakata. But just as she saved Revan, me, from the dark side, I too had the chance to bring her back.
You were brave, and some would say foolish. But you were also right. The dark side has not wholly consumed me. I cannot raise my blade against you.
Everything led to the Battle of the Starforge, the relentless war factory that'd pump out endless warships and crush the Republic. But my bond with Bastila was strong enough. She could turn her all-powerful battle meditation against the Sith and turn the tide. Then, I would finally square up with Malik one-on-one. And just as I saw later in the movies, the light prevailed, but not without tragic losses along the way.
And in the end, as the darkness takes me, I am nothing.
Knights of the Old Republic is a magnificent game and a beautiful Star Wars story, but what I realize is that despite having the choice between dark and light, their journey was anything but black and white. I went in without much knowledge, but I came out enraptured by this universe. My love for Knights of the Old Republic made a seamless transition to the franchise as a whole. I saw the Millennium Falcon and thought of the Ebon Hawk. I heard Yoda speak and remembered the wise words of Master Vandar. I saw the Death Star and was reminded of the Starforge. And so when I watched Leia Organa and Luke Skywalker lead a rebellion against the Empire, in the back of my mind was Bastila Shan and Revan and the lives they led 4,000 years ago. As Star Wars enters another era and reaches a different generation, a new foundation is built for new fans. Their first memories will probably be of an older Luke, Han, and Leia, with Rey and Finn taking the fight to Kylo Ren. And that's just as valid as how I was invested in being Revan, hopping from planet to planet, trying to leave my mark across the galaxy, and ultimately defeat Darth Malik and the Sith Empire. Knights of the Old Republic gave me Star Wars, and the excitement to be a fan of this franchise. It's something I'll always cherish.
Wherever you go, you will be recognized as the saviors of the galaxy, the heroes of our age. But you must remain ever vigilant, for one day you may be called upon yet again to defend the glory of the Republic against the tyranny of the dark side. This is the destiny of the Jedi.
I am only one of many who have a story to tell, so please share how you fell in love with Star Wars in the comments below. Now my friends and colleagues here at GameSpot also have stories to tell, so please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.